Om. Om. Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatye Namaha. Sadashiva Samarambham Vyasa Shankara Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Vande Guru Paramparam. Samastajana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Om Sri Tapovan Sishyaya Namaha Om Sri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha Hari Om. Last week we have given a quick introduction to the content of Vedas in general, and also explained that Vedas are apaurusheya. In other words, they are not written by human beings, but have directly come from the all-pervading infinite being, what we call as the essence of whole universe as a truth. So those who have been able to tune to it have received the messages and have transmitted them to others like us. Those are called rishis or Krantadarshis. Upanishads are a part of the Vedas, which are called Vedanta, are the actual final message of Vedas. Jivo Brahmaiva na aparaha. The truth is all-pervading self. So that's what I briefly mentioned yesterday, last week, and I also explained what Bhagavan Shankaracharya, in his commentary of Kathopanishad, he says about the definition of Upanishad. He says Upanishad is derived from the words Upa, two prefixes, Upa plus Ni, Upa, Ni, two prefixes, then and Shat and Quip Pratyaya or suffix. So what he says is that Shat Dhatu, Shadeha Dhatoho, Shat Dhatu has three meanings. Visharana means destruction. Gati means attainment. And also Visharana, Gati, and also Avasadana. Avasadana means loosen the samsara or loosen. So Bhagavan Shankaracharya said, because of pratyaya, quip pratyaya at the end, it means the agent. Upanishad is that agent that accomplishes these definitely. Ni stands for Nishchaya. Upa means our closest self. Closer and closer is self. How does it do it? By destroying samsara and also by taking us to the essential self and also providing the necessary practices by avasadana or by loosening the bondages, like providing techniques like upasana and also Ravana, Manana, and Nididhyasana. Okay. So this is the definition Shankaracharya gives for any Upanishad. The broad definition. Now, with that, we'll just actually today, we'll go into the Upanishad. The Upanishad itself is actually starts with a story. And that story also is very interesting. But before we go into the story, first we need to do this peace chant. Upanishads, each Upanishad has a peace chant. In this particular case, because this Upanishad, Katha Upanishad, is from Krishna Yajur Veda, the peace chant is Om Sahana vavatu. Sahanau bhunaktu. Sahaviryam karavavahai. Tejasvinavadhitamastu. Ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. I will chant again. Om Sahana Vavatu. Sahanau Bhunaktu. Sahaviryam Karvavahai. Tejasvinavadhitamastu. Ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now, so the meaning of this chant is Saha na avatu. It starts with Sahana vavatu. Sahana vavatu. Saha now avatu. That's how it is broken up. Saha now avatu. That's how it's broken up. What it means is, sorry, for a second I lost you guys. What it means is, Hey Ishvara. See, Upanishad, Brahman, please remember this, Brahman is all-pervading, infinite being awareness. It has no objective reality within it. So blessings or giving us boons or these things are not applicable to Brahman. It is self. There is no mind there. When it reflects in totality of Maya, then material cause appears. That is Ishvara. So the student and Guru are praying Ishvara, who has the Maya under his control, number one. Number two, his Sarvajna, and he can do or undo anything. But because he's not bound by Maya. So he can give us the blessings. Sahana vavatu, very first opening sentence. Saha now avatu. Now means it's a dual case. Me and my Guru in this context. This is it being sung by the Guru and the student together. Sahanau avatu. Together, may Lord protect us. Number one. Now the question comes, protect from what? This is very important as we students basically protect from distractions. We need to stay focused on the teaching. We have responsibilities like anybody else, but we should not let us disturb us during the class mentally, because we are trying to withdraw our attention from objective realities that are mental. So we need to do, no doubt, our self-effort, definitely. But at the same time, we should also have the humility to pray God, hey Lord, please give us the capacity to stay free from these distractions. So protect us from them. Now a question might come, there are many students there. So why don't we pray for them? The point here is, don't worry about other students. Don't worry whether who is coming, who left. That is not your business in the class. You just, me and Guru. Now avatu. Protect both of us. Now, Guru's point of view, Guru also too, he is also chanting. Each student is the same for him. And singularly, everybody is the same for him. He has no discrimination between any. So it applies to everybody. Or together also, single unit. Avatu. So the attitude is what we are praying God to protect, because we know this is a serious stuff. You are learning about yourself. It's ultimate happiness for which we are born. That value you should sustain during the class. Sahanau avatu. Sahanau bhunaktu. Next point. Sahanau bhunaktu means may we enjoy this journey. Bhunaktu. So this journey is from limited view of our life to infinite presence, existence, conscious being. Its journey itself is beautiful if you relate to it. So many of our study groups classes where we used to all sit and discuss, people keep coming to the classes, but sometimes they used to say, I'm not learning, I'm not making progress. But that is because you are thinking very high of your goal. But if you are not making progress, you don't come to the class. You can relate to it. You are experiencing certain degree of elevation, at least during the class or before and after, because when you are coming to the class, because you have done everything and put it aside all the distractions and came class, then you are relating to the teaching and at least getting the glimpse of the enjoyment. Otherwise, you would not. And those who continue make tremendous progress. The reason they do they make tremendous progress is it is self. You know, inside you, you are feeling peaceful. So you're getting a reality. There is truth. So basically, we are asking Bhagavan, may that journey continue. Journey into from unhappiness to happiness, from peacelessness, from pieces to peace, as you may say. Insecurity to security, from fear to fearlessness. As you expand, these things, changes take place. So, sahanau bhunaktu. Now, sahaviryam karavavahai. Next line. Sahaviryam karavavahai. Together, may we exert ourselves. See, this is now, the first two lines are asking Bhagavan. Now here, we are talking about self-effort. May we exert ourselves. Karavavahai. So, remember this, last class I mentioned, there are 4 Purusharthas. Artha, Kama, Dharma and Moksha. All of them are Purusharthas. They are called Purusha, goals of individual's life. Otherwise, it's not called Purushartha. So, this is an important aspect of our purpose of life. So, self-effort is important. In Upanishad also it comes later on. Unless you choose, you would not get moksha. It is a part of the teaching. You have to choose. So, moksha is not an automatic. But tendency of human beings is to choose small things. And then we'll complete our life only small. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, somebody asked Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, what is the difference between moksha and then others? He said, when you meet a Chakravarti, means an emperor, if he asks you what you want, if you ask that I need a village, then Chakravarti is appropriate to ask a Chakravarti. But if you ask some vegetables or I may have a sack of rice, something like that, then it's meaningless. You could ask any landlord, they will give you. So Ramakrishna Paramahamsa is saying when Bhagavan himself is available, ask for moksha. It is like asking a Chakravarti some vegetables. So you are shooting yourself short. So Sahaviryam Karavavahai means maximum, highest Purushartha, we should continue to strive for it. Anything can be sacrificed, but not moksha. This will come in Kathopanishad. Nachiketas actually is offered by Yamaraja various inducements. He says no, 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 no. It's very appropriate to Kathopanishad. Introduction. So also Karavavahai, please remember this. Shravana. And then just listening is not enough. You also need to reflect. This is true. I spent so many years of my life. What progress did I make? How much peace? What is the measurement? You should feel perfect all the time, 24/7. Did I make some progress? Last class I mentioned. How frequently do I get depressed? How quickly I recover? What is the intensity? All these things you need to question yourself. And then you should strengthen the teaching. Focus. Because it is real. You can feel it, but you don't apply because you just not, the nishtha is not coming to you. Tejasvinavadhitamastu. Next one. Tejasvi means ability to grasp, like dharana sikti. Teja means intelligence. Vadhitamastu. Tejasvino adhitamastu. In our study, adhita means study. In our study, there should be an increasing level of understanding, increasing level of clarity, increasing level of association with the goals. All these things have to manifest. Transformation should be our process. It should accelerate. How it happens is, in the beginning, there is a viparyaya bhava, opposite view of life. Your world is real, and consciousness is a product of my material life. That's how I think, because we go so much reality to the body and mind and intellect, we always think consciousness is a product of this. That's how we study. That is called viparita bhavana. That's how our life starts. Because that's how the mind starts, because mind is always extroverted. In Kathopanishad it comes. Later on it comes. So, but as we grow spiritually, it flips. Sambhavana takes place. Sambhavana means, oh, it makes sense. The openness develops inside us. Openness develops inside us. You feel that, you start experiencing some freedom, at least in the class, at least during prayers. And then Sambhavana gradually, that means you are becoming opening up. To consciousness is real, world is transitionary. That clarity will develop. And then Nishchaya will come finally. This is true. What I have been thinking is only mental. What I was exposed, I believed. Now others are not exposed to what I am exposed, so they believe differently. Suddenly all the clarity. So what is reality? Consciousness in both of us is real. Mind in both of us is made of my past. Memories are made of by me. I am not my memories. I am the support behind it. That clarity is tejasvinavadhitamastu. You should transition from viparita bhavana, means opposite thinking, through sambhavana, means oh yeah, I am not the body, I'm not the mind, there is something behind it. That's where real peace is. That sambhavana, openness. And then finally, nishchaya. This is it. Every rest is only just fluke. I just didn't know. Like so many things in our life, we suddenly realize, oh, what a big mistake I made those days. Same thing, whole thing was a mistake. Can you look at the world exactly opposite? That willingness will, tejasvanavati tamastu, ma vidvishavahai. May we not, guru and teacher, may we not have conflict or a friction. Or the student thinking, oh yeah, I heard this before, no problem. What is this? I already know this. This doesn't help. It's not something you know, it is what you are. You just have to be humble and you have to be patient and you have to gradually evolve. Then both teacher and student, they merge into oneness, then they separate. There is no guru, there is no shishya. Even book also is dropped. Amrita Bindu Upanishad says that. Just like you remove the husk of paddy and drop off the husk and retain the rice. The same way, book also drops. Guru, Sishya, everything drops. Chidananda Rupa Shiva remains. So, until that point, you continue the journey without any friction and without any conflicts. Relate to the teaching, not to the personality. Because no two people are identical. Some people might like sambar, some people might rasam. Does not mean rasam is better or sambar is better. Those are immaterial. Focus on subject matter and grow. Take every opportunity you get for a satsang. Because mind evolves. Transformation takes place. To Sivahood himself directly takes place. So this is the peace chant. At the end there is Om Shantihi, Shantihi, Shantihi. 3 times. It's worth some explanation because we do it all, every class we do in the beginning. First Shanti is Adhyatmika obstacles should be removed. Adhyatmika means related to oneself. So one person might feel, oh, body, I'm too lazy, I'm too tired, I want to sleep. This is physical. Mind, mentally, we say, oh, I heard this before, I don't think I'm capable. This kind of a contrary suggestions. Intellectual convictions. Oh, I am the body, I am the mind, I don't care what you say. I don't believe in God. This is intellectual. No problem, you don't have to believe in God, but at least be open-minded to see what Upanishad is saying. So Adhyatmika obstacles are the worst. It's not like that, whatever. That was my problem, believe me, when I first started listening to Vedanta. I thought I knew everything. I was so stupid. I quickly realized I knew nothing. I just thought I knew. There was a great Mahatma, Brahmachari Krishnamurti. In 2-3 classes, I realized I knew nothing. That started my journey and it really tremendously helped me. So these adhyatmika problems. Simply because you are born in a religious family doesn't mean you know. You don't know anything. You just think you are know everything. That's the only problem. The more you know, the more you realize how little you know. Actually, that's the truth. It's adhyatmika obstacles. Raising from inside us essentially does not let the teaching go through smoothly. their construction in our heart, in our mind, everywhere. And in the blocks, only very trickle is going through. And it takes a long time. For Visharana, Bhagavan Shankaracharya's introduction, he said, destruction of samsara. So that takes a long time because you are just our own mental blocks. Second Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti. Second Shanti is Adi Bhautika. Beings around you. May they not disturb me. It's very important to know that. Because if you know there would be some situations, you take care of them before you sit in the class. Within your capacity. And once then you pray, I did my job, but Bhagavan, help me, may they remain as I hope. Adi Bhautika, other beings around you. Adi Daivika. Third Shanti. Daivika means there are those forces beyond my direct control. It could be COVID. We used to have a lot of classes in our house in Hyderabad. Several people used to come. And suddenly COVID came. 2 years, the classes have stopped. I told them not to come. And then we just settled back and came back to America, and then the whole thing fell apart. So this is how it happens. May they not come. And then it could be even earthquakes. They are beyond my control. That's basically the point. Daivika means Daivadhina. Phenomenal forces that I don't have direct control. Okay. So I am praying Bhagavan after the peace chant, which I will repeat again. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So the whole thing is called peace chant. We are praying Bhagavan between Guru and Sishya, and there should be proper growth, proper attitude, proper application, and then there should not be any distractions from within me as well as from people around me or equipment or Adi Daivika. For example, suddenly power goes away, the whole class, Zoom class stops. That is Adi Daivika only. So we praying Bhagavan to give it. Now with this introduction, we go to the actual Upanishad. The Upanishad is very fascinating Upanishad. Katha Upanishad is one of the favorite Upanishads of a lot of saints, including Swami Vivekananda. He used to quote this generously. And of course, Bhagavan Krishna. Bhagavad Gita is full of these quotations from directly taken or indirectly taken from Katha Upanishad. So don't underestimate its power. So it's a start with a beautiful story, and it goes for about almost 25%. And of course, in the beginning, it's just akhyayika for first few verses. Then actual dialogue between the main characters, which is Nachiketa and Yamadharmaraja, starts. Okay. In the story form, actually there is few points are made. So you please keep this in mind. It explains the glory of Brahma Vidya in the story part. So because it sets a perfect stage for people like us who are Martyas, we are called Martyas. We have limited lifespans, Martyas. And then Martyas go to Mrityu, which is Yamadharmaraja, and then he explains how to get out of this. It's beautiful, that's right. Then the need of a guru, it explains. It also explains the characteristics a Shishya should have when he sits in the class. or listens, reads Upanishads. And also the characters of Guru. They are all covered in this Akhyayika very beautifully, indirectly. So Shankaracharya and Mahatmas like Swami Chinmaya, in their commentary, they bring it out. And then we try to do our best to pass it on. So with this, we go to the first mantra. Om Ushan Havai Vajasravasaha Sarvavedasam Dadau Tasya Nachiketa Nama Putra Asa. I'm repeating it. Om Usan Havai Vajasravasaha Sarvavedasam Dadau Tasya Nachiketa Nama Putra Asa. So, as I said, it's a story. Now, you have heard in Kena Upanishad, the story of the last section of Kena Upanishad. In stories that come in Upanishads, they do not come like the way in Puranas or Itihasas, for example. In Puranas, the story is really beautifully narrated, characters are introduced properly, and then each character's qualities are also narrated. So many things are given background. In in Upanishads, that's not the way it is. The purpose is not the story, purpose is the message. So when Upanishadic stories are actually explained, Bhagavan Shankaracharya connects them. Because without his connections, we cannot do the connections. So also Gurus. Then you also keep in mind the story itself is not that important. The message is more important. So when average people in these days, in particular in contemporary days, they will ask you, is this real? Is Yamadharmaraja real? Is Nachiketa? Like that people. No, no, no. That is the distraction. The message is important. But I will give a few more pointers next. Now, in this particular mantra, Usan Havai Vajasravasaha. Havai means in the past, in the long past. Vajasravasaha is the name of a person. Ushan, he has desires for heaven. Karma Kandi. I told in the last class, Veda has Purvabhaga and Uttarabhaga. Purvabhaga gives you various mantras and then prakriya to attain various results of action. Sakama karma. He's like that. His name itself, Vajasravasaha. He is son of Vajashrava. Sravasaha makes son of Vajashrava. Technically, it means Vaja means food. Srava means the person who is famous because of he is a big donor of food. Vajashravasaha. Sarvavedasam dadau. He gave everything away. Because he's Annadata. By name itself is Karma Kandi, great. So everything away is basically implies there is one yajna, it is called Vishwajit yajna. It's not mentioned here. Commentators write that Vishwajit yajna he did, where he give everything away. Tasya Nachiketa Nama Putra Asa. Tasya for him, her, had Nachiketa Nama Putra Asa. He had a son by name Nachiketa. So the main character is Nachiketa. He is now given. His father is given, and he has son. So you have an important point here is Vajashravasaha is a big donor to attain desires of karma. His son is Nachiketa. So here, couple of points I want to mention before we move further. It is a sakama karma. Sakama karma means it is based upon karma with certain expected results. So results are also come in time. Whatever comes in time is also is limited. There is birth and death. Bhagavan Krishna says in chapter 2 Bhagavad Gita, Jatasya hi dhruvo nityam. Dhruvam muttu mutasya cha. Dhruvam janma mutasya cha. Whatever dies will be reborn. Whatever is reborn will die. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityu. Jatasya means those who are born as dhruvo mrityu. And then the same way, those who die will also be reborn. Because it is fundamentally in time. Consciousness is not born in time. Whatever is born in time will also die in time. Basically, that is the idea. So, but where is the purpose of life? Transfer, change the karma, sakama karma into nishkama karma. What is the purpose of nishkama karma? Nishkama karma is you do karma, but you don't do it for mental or physical or afterlife gains, but you do it for chitta suddhi. I'm doing it as a duty. Let my vasanas pass through me, but I will not expect anything. Let it pass. You doing nishkam karma, you have a lot of disappointments in life. A lot of people scold you. A lot of people disappoint you. But you don't react. You do your duty. We were just talking about before the class. Then what happens? You grow. And then what happens? When you grow, as a result of nishkam karma, Guru comes into your life. God is noticing you are ready for it. And the Guru is also Brahmanistha. As soon as you see him, your heart is ready, it is blossoms. Because you are nishkam karma. And then you do Shravana, Manana, you have conviction in Guru's words. Shravana, Manana, and then Nitidhyasana also, you do it. Then you leave things that you believe so long, so much, and you move on in life to higher purpose in life. So that's why sakama, nikama, nishkama, that fundamental has to be in our heart. Clarity has to be there. So at least when you do puja, you do it, but with nishkama. And then Bhagavan says, in some context, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa used to say this also, nishkama karma is really not karma, he used to say. It is because it is directly connecting with God. That's why it is, Now, we'll do verse 2. Verse 2. Tagum ha kumaragum santam dakshinasu niyamanasu shraddha vivesaso manyata. I'm reading it again. Tagum ha kumaragum santam dakshinasu niyamanasu shraddha vivesaso manyata. I will first explain the meaning. Kumaragum santam. Tagumha kumaragum santam. For Vajasravasa, kumaragum santam, the boy who is there, he is Kumara. Kumara means in stages of life, generally 0 to 5, 6 is called Shishu. 6 to 10, 12 is called Kumara. After that, it is Yuva. So he is Kumara, means basically it's about 6 to 10, 11, that range, Kumara. Dakshinasu Niyamanasu. As the yajna is going on, at the end of the yajna, people are given dakshina. Dakshina means it is not a gift. It is actually called dakshina. Dakshina means it's a remuneration for the services. If we don't give them, the punya goes to the Ritvik. Suppose some people came to your house and did chanting of Vedas. If you don't give anything, the chanting punya they keep. Or somebody came to Ekadash Rudra in your house. Ekadash Rudra it takes about 2-3 hours, 3 hours. Abhishekam. And then you give dakshina to the guru, to the person who has led it. And then if you don't give dakshina, the Ekadash Rudra phala will go to them. So dakshina is remuneration for the services they provided in a particular frame of mind. It's not just giving, I'm giving it. No, no. It is actually particular frame of mind is also mentioned in Upanishads. In particular Taittiriya Upanishad it mentions. I remember that I have written in my notes. It is called Shraddhaya Deyam. Dakshina has to be given. These characters are given Taittiriya Upanishad. 6 characters are given Taittiriya Upanishad. Shraddhaya Deyam. Give with Shraddha. Means you are willing to change and you are willing to take that and then implement in the transformation prasada in your heart. Ashraddhaya Adeyam. Do not give without Shraddha. Basically, you are giving to the people, you are giving with Shraddha, means you have done a great service to me, I am thankful to you. That attitude you should have. If you have that attitude, you transform. It has a transformative power. Shriya Deyam. Shriya. Shriya Deyam. It should be commensurate to your capacity. Don't go over your capacity or don't cut it too short. It should be commensurate to your capacity. Nowadays, they ask you ahead of time, you have to give me $800. Okay, give $800 with Shraddha. No problem. That's not a problem. Okay, so this still applies, but give it to Shraddha. Okay. Kriya Deyam. Kriya means modesty. Give with modesty. You don't show off. In front of everybody, I'm giving $1,000. No, that's not right. Kriya Deyam. With modesty you give. Bhiya Deyam. Give with respect. Shraddha is different. Shraddha means that you believe in giving dakshina and then you believe it gives you good results. Here, respect for the person we give. Don't give him with carelessness and then, okay, you give it and give it like that. You give respectfully and do namaste and Samvida Deyam. This Taittiriya Upanishad gives this name. Siksha Valli, I think. Give willfully, give. Samvida Deyam. Willfully you should give. So dakshina, how it should be given, are also given in scriptures. Okay. Just want to mention that. Dakshinasu niyamanasu. As dakshinas are given and then as people are taking them, Shraddha avivesa. Tam, in this particular case, in Nachiketas. Into Nachiketa, Shraddha avivesa. Shraddha entered into his heart. So amanyata. As soon as the Shraddha came, he started thinking. Now, this is very, very important point. This is how it builds. See, the story itself does not directly tell you Shraddha is important. But then what happens after that gradually makes it clear. But then at this point, I will mention a few things, then that way you connect it better. Bhagavan Krishna very beautifully says in Bhagavad Gita also these things, these points. Many of you might know the character Duryodhana, okay? And average people, this happened to me a few times also. People ask, Sri Krishna made a mistake. Why? They say he should have taught Bhagavad Gita to Duryodhana, not to Arjuna. He made a mistake because he didn't teach to Duryodhana. If Duryodhana had been taught, the whole war would have been averted. It's a very good point. A lot of people think, oh, it's a great point, but it's ridiculous because he tried. Krishna tried many times. It's not that Krishna did not try. In fact, Duryodhana is famous. There's a famous sloka Duryodhana says, Dharman janami. I know dharma. Duryodhana says this to Krishna. Dharman janami. Nachame pravrutti. I cannot follow. Adharman janami. Nachame nivrutti. I know what is adharma, but I cannot get out of it. It's not that Dharmaraja did, I'm sorry, Duryodhana did not know what Krishna was about to telling him. But he never had surrender. Unless you have Shraddha, you don't change in life. The Shraddha gives surrender. This is very much highlighted in Shastras. Last class also I mentioned what is the qualifications of a student? Shraddha. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam, Bhagavan Krishna says. A Shraddha should be, Swami Gurudev Swami Chinmaya says, Shraddha means application pending confirmation. If you don't have, then apply pending confirmation. Confirmation will come later. But you start the journey. Mahatmas are saying, now contrast this to what Arjuna's attitude. That's why I just want, it's very beautiful. Contrast this to Arjuna's attitude. Couple of slokas I will take. Arjuna says, Karpanya doshopahata svabhavaha pruchhyami tvam dharma sammudha chetah yachrayasya nishchitam bruhitan me sishyasteham chadhimam tvam prapannam. Chapter 2, verse 7. He says, I am affected by intellectual bankruptcy, karpanya dosha, apahataha svabhavaha, pruchhyami tvam dharma sammudha chetah. I have got into a vicious cycle. I cannot determine what is right, what is wrong. Yachreyasya nishchitam bruhitan me. You tell me what is right in this context. Sishyasteham shadhimam tam prapannam. Sishyasteham shadhimam tvam prapannam. I am your disciple. You please tell me what I should do. Shadhi means you tell me. Prapannam, I am taking refuge in you. So look at the difference between Duryodhana and Arjuna. Now, whom would you teach? You can teach, but it goes waste. And then after completion of Bhagavad Gita also, I think verse 8, chapter 18, verse number 73, Arjuna says, after listening to all of it, Nasto mohaha smutir labdha tat prasadat mayachyuta. Stitosmi gata sandehaha karishye tava vachanam tava. He says, I am now free from delusion, and now I smutir labdha. I now realized what is dharma, what is adharma, and now I'm back to my normal senses. Tat prasadat, it happened because of your grace, hey Achyuta. Stitosmi gata sandeha. Now I'm here without any doubts. I will do what you are saying. Karishye vachanam tava. This is how the transformation takes place. Only if you have Shraddha. That's the key point. So here Shraddha. So Upanishad is clearly saying into him Shraddha Avesha. There's a reason why it is Shraddha like that. So Shraddha is highlighted as very fundamental qualification in this context. Now we'll go to verse number. So I'm just re-summarizing this. That son who he mentioned in mantra number 1, he is a Kumara. His ages are around, let us say, 6 to 11 years age. He saw as the dakshinas were being taken. While his dakshina, when he saw, into him Shraddha came. Next mantra I will explain better. Then he thought. Okay. The next question is what he thought is the next question. Mantra number 3. Pitodaka dagdha trunaha dagdha doha nirindriyaha anandanamate lokaha tamsa gacchadita dadant. Pitodaka dagdha trunaha dugdha doha nirindriyaha anandanamate lokaha tamsa gacchadita dadat. These dakshina, as dakshina, whatever given were in this particular case, were cows. Now, Nachiketa, when Shraddha has entered into his heart, he's thinking. And because he saw the condition of the cows being taken. Pitodakaha. They are so old, so decapitated, so incapacitated, they are not in a capacity to drink water. So weak, practically ready to die. But just walking barely, you can imagine. Pita Udakaha. Whatever they could do, whatever they could drink, they had already been done. It was that bad a shape. Some exaggeration, of course. Jagdhatrunaha. They also cannot anymore eat grass. Because they cannot digest. So whatever they could eat, Jagdhatruna, it's already been done. They are not in the capacity to eat any further. Not that they are full, they cannot. They are just weak and then practically sick. Dugdha doha, they cannot give milk. Whatever milk they could be given was already given. Dugdha is already milked. Doha. Nirindriyaha. It means they cannot have any more progeny. Means the senses are so weak and so old, you can say, they cannot conceive anymore. Nirindriyaha. Now, if you give such kind of dakshina, anandanama te lokaha sa gacchati. What is the reason he is doing the yajna? He wants to go to the higher worlds. Obviously, higher worlds are considered to be where there is a lot of I mentioned in the last class, where there is your upadhi is good, health and conditions are good, vastu, paristiti are very good, and you have unlimited supply of joys, material, vishaya are there. All the three are fulfilled. Upadhi is healthy, vishaya are available, and then conditions are also conducive. So Purakanda, Veda Purakanda prescribes sevas for all of them, mantras for all of them, and also homas for all of them. But now if you do like this, dakshina like this, then ananda namate lokaha. They go to lokas that are ananda. Ananda means joyless. Basically, the three words usually they come into in this learning. Nanda means happiness. Ananda means total happiness. Ananda means no happiness. Ananda, what is Ananda? Ananda namate lokaha. They go to such tan sagachati. That kind of words you go. So basically, Karma Kanda, Bhagavan Krishna also says in chapter 3, Karma Kanda also pratyavaya dosha. If you don't do correctly, in Mundaka Upanishad also we saw, it has to be done correctly. Whereas Nishkam Karma does not have that. Chapter 2, Sri Krishna says this. Nishkam Karma does not have that. You have attitude is more important there. Okay? But Karma Kanda, you have Sakam Karma, it has to be done properly. Otherwise, Pratyavaya is also come. Pratyavaya means opposite effect will come. So Prayaschitta has to be done for it. So those ta means here that such kind of cows. Whoever gives that kind of cows will go to places where there is no ananda. In fact, it is opposite. The whole purpose is defeated. Ananda namate lokaha sa gacchati tadadatu. That's what he is saying. So at this point, what is he? Because he has Shraddha, and then he related to the Vedic ritual. So he has a background in Vedic samskaras, and he knows what has to be done properly, what has not to be done, and he also has that clarity, and he's concerned about this situation. Though always young, remember this. So he's a very, very, very bright prospective candidate. So he approaches his father and tells him, and I don't want to go to the next mantra today because we are already almost at the end of the class. So this story he tells his father, and then his father reacts. As a result of that, a situation is set up where he actually goes to meet Yamaraja. Like that, then Yamaraja actually is not home when he goes there. So for 3 days, he does not go in, he does not take and accept anything, because without the Gruhadipati, you are not supposed to go inside the house. So he stays outside, does not accept anything. For 3 days, he stays outside, this young boy. And then Yamaraja comes. And then he gets told by his wives and then the ministers that the boy is there, is like fire. He's very, very nishtha boy, but he's not taking anything. He's waiting for you. If you don't treat him properly, your whole merits will be destroyed because he's so pure. Then Yamaraja goes to him and then tell him, sorry, I was not here, I was out of town. I happened to me like this. So please forgive me. But because you spent 3 nights without eating water, without drinking water, without eating food, I will give you 3 boons. You please select. And that's how Kathopanishad goes. Very interesting, okay? Om Purnamadaha पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम।